What is going on, Rams family? We are back with another film session, and we wanted to come in here and talk about wide receiver Davante Adams. It was big losing Cooper Kupp, but we all know the impact that Davante Adams brings. Playing in 3 games for the Raiders in 2024 and being traded to the Jets, playing in 11 games, that's 14 total, and still reaching 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns shows he has a lot left in the tank. And teaming up with a talent like Puka Nacua and Matt Stafford should get this offense going. So let's break him down and see what he can bring to the offense. So on this play here, Davante showcases his masterful understanding of zone coverage concepts, showing great spatial awareness and timing. You'll see him read the defense's positioning, identify the soft spot between the defenders, and create a nice chunk play. These are the reps here that shows Adams' experience as well as his football IQ that translates into an explosive playmaking opportunity downfield. So we'll go ahead and rock with it. So locking on this play here, just watching the movements from Davante, just having a feel for what a soft spot is in these coverages. And it looked like that defender was going to follow him, but he ended up turning his hips, going the other way, and leaving Davante Adams wide open. And this is the type of talent here that if you're going to make mistakes, he's going to find ways to capitalize on it. So you see that he's on a move, chopping his feet, and catching number 6 with a nice spin move. The thing is with this kind of talent, when you have a wide receiver that is a student of the game, he has a great understanding of zone coverages, it's going to make things a lot easier when it comes down to Matthew Stafford. And teaming with a guy like Puka Nacua, what he has done so far in his career has been fireworks. So seeing Davante Adams running that drag route and finding a hole in the defense and making a big-time chunk play was great to see by the veteran wide receiver. One thing that Davante Adams excels at is his release off the ball. He has some of the best footwork of any wide receiver in the entire league, and he has demonstrated this throughout his career. He's literally playing chess while these defensive backs are playing checkers, and the film proves his top-notch production. This is why when you have a player of his caliber that's available, you go get these guys. So we're going to split it. So looking at this play here, just studying the movements from Adams, just looking at the footwork is so good to be able to gain separation. Very snappy wide receiver once he gets off his release, finding ways to force these defensive backs to overthink. So he gains separation, catches the ball, now he's on the move, slicing the defender up and getting about 7 more yards. And the special thing about this player, you can line him up on the outside. He has been lined up off the line of scrimmage in the slot. There are ways that you can be able to utilize this player and he can be effective for all 4 quarters, especially when you have a coach like Sean McVay who really understands this player's talents. And as far as his speed, he's not the fastest wide receiver, but it's not always about that. Do you have good footwork? Are you patient? Can you release well? That all matters when it comes down to being a top-notch wide receiver. And with Davante, he definitely has that in him, Rams family. But seeing him chopping a defender down, running a slant, and gaining separation was big time. And I'm sure that we'll be seeing a lot of that come this season. Not only is he a great route runner, but Adams is a player that has enough speed to be able to take the top off the defense. You'll see him find his groove, split between the safeties, using excellent body control, and come down with a great catch running his seam route. His skill at attacking the middle of the field and maintaining focus while anticipating contact is impressive, making him a reliable target in high traffic areas on the field. So we'll go ahead and spin it. So zooming in on Adams, you see that he's getting off the ball. Love the patience when it comes down to this receiver. You see a lot of antsy wide receivers in this league, but with him, he takes his time and finds ways to dissect the defense. So you see he's splitting in between both safeties and catches the ball smoothly. And the good thing is he's actually catching with his hands because there are some body catchers as far as these wide receivers in the league. And it's good to see this because he's actually outrunning all 3 of these defenders. If you do have the ability to take the top off the defense, it can open up everything for this entire offense. And the defender did get his hands on him, but he still found a way to reach the end zone. And with this player, I'm not saying that he's what he used to be a few years ago, but if you have a wide receiver that is still fully capable of getting 1,000 yards, on top of having all of these explosive players on the offense, so you can't shift all your focus on him, he will have a lot of opportunities to make a lot of plays. And there were some quiet games from him this past season, but with the Jets, Aaron Rodgers, and all of those boys, it's not always about your talent. Does the entire team have that chemistry to get things going? So it was shaky over there with the Jets, but I think that he's going to turn up with the Rams for sure. But great play by running a seam route, splitting between those safeties, and scoring a touchdown. Here's a quick play of him running a fade route. He gets a great release off the line of scrimmage, gains leverage to the outside, tracks the ball down, and secures the tough catch. With his talent, it'll keep things flowing for Sean McVay and the offense, keeping those chains moving. So we'll go ahead and run it. So looking at this play here, just watching him chop in, getting outside leverage. The thing is, when you're going up against a wide receiver like him, even when you are close to him and playing good coverage, he is always open. So he tracks the ball down and secures a nice catch. And it's good to see this because that's one of the main reasons why they brought this player in. There will be times where Matt Stafford is holding that ball and he's going to have to throw it up. And I wouldn't even call it 50-50 balls because 70% of the time he will make that catch. And to be a player that has scored 8 touchdowns this past season, played for the Raiders, you played for the Jets all in one season, I'm sure that there was a lot that was going on. But the stats and the production that he had this past season is all you need when it comes down to the Rams offense. But I'm sure with his skill set, he will be able to make an impact day one. Not only that play, but here's another of him catching a back shoulder fade and scoring a touchdown. So locking on this play here, just watching that hezzy step, just seeing him getting into position, tracking the ball down, and cashing in. And it's going to be exciting to just see how this player plays out because when you have guys like Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, it's going to be hard to be able to keep up with it, on top of what Kyron Williams already do when he gets to the red zone. But it's tough to see Cooper Kupp going to another team, but the NFL is not for long. He put in a lot of work for the team, but your best ability is availability. And with a player like Davante Adams, he's going to show up and be there when it matters most. If you want to see some of the best Los Angeles Rams helmets and upgrade your man cave or your room, check out Green Gridiron's page in the description. These helmets are torch, available in mini or regular size with the visors, and they are built to last a lifetime. Click the link and use promo code JC Network for a discount on these amazing helmets. Now let's get back to the film session. Here's another play of him having the ability to show good footwork and run crossers. So locking in on Davante, just watching the movements off the ball. The thing is, when you're playing that wide receiver position, you got to have those well-oiled hips. You got to be snappy and get in and out of your breaks quickly. So he's running across the field. He already did enough to get himself in position and using both hands to catch the ball. And what's special about this player, he is arriving to the Rams with 5 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, tied for the second longest active streak in the NFL. And it's also a great situation because he is playing back at home, being from California, which is a big deal to him. So another great play by Davante Adams, running a crosser and coming down with the ball. So on this final play here, you'll see Davante Adams using a hesitation step, reset that cornerback, and shooting to the flats and scoring a quick touchdown. The good thing about him is once he gets to that end zone, he has a knack for being able to find the right positioning, routing these guys up, and putting them in the blender. So let's run it. So locking on this play here, just watching that right foot. The details matter when it comes down to a guy like Davante, shooting to the outside and scoring another touchdown. And the beauty about this player, there is nothing that this player can't do on a field. He can take the top off the defense. He can run slants, rocker steps, double rocker steps, pretty much every route in a tree, and he has proved this all throughout his entire career. And I don't think it's going to be too long for him to build that chemistry with Matthew Stafford, but training camp and preseason is going to be important. But I'm sure that this player is going to be ready to roll. So as far as the whole Rams team, I think that they're going to shake things up this season. Not only do they have talent on the offense, but when you have players like Braden Fisk on defense, Jared Verse, being rookies this past year and making a difference, shows that this scouting department and this front office knows what they're doing, finding ways to bring in difference makers. And with Davante Adams, he's another one of those additions this year that's going to really turn up. And make sure y'all subscribe to the channel because we're going to be breaking down all of the Rams drafted players, the undrafted players, just like this video. So comment below and let me know what you guys think about the addition of Davante Adams. And if y'all think that this is the final piece to get this team to where they need to be. So make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe and hit that notification bell because the way the YouTube algorithm works, if you don't hit it, you'll miss on fire updates and the best football film sessions on YouTube. All right, football family. Talk to y'all soon. Gone.